All right. Is up. Welcome. We are the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer, and with Bryon the Grizzly from the Pen and Grizzly Show. What is up, man?
Nothing much. I mean, I kind of lost my mind because there's so many shows I had to watch. There's just so much going on. And then I remember Morbius come out Friday, and I'm like, man, every day I'm gonna have something to watch. This is crazy.
It's like a good time because like you're never bored, but it's also like I don't know about you, but I feel like I want to watch everything all at once. Like I want to watch this, I want to watch this, I want to watch this.
We have a schedule. I was like, okay, can I pencil this in for here? We'll watch Picard at 7:30, so we'll do that. I'm like, man, this is ridiculous.
I know you got I think you watch way more than I do. So with Picard and all the CW.
Like five or six things.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's still like I have one episode of Disenchantment left, and I just haven't had a chance to watch. And I like the season, but yeah, just can't find the time. But even like right now, we started super late because it's just been one of those days. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about Halo, Moon Knight, which are both brand new, and coming to the end of Bel-Air. So we're gonna talk episode 9 Bel-Air later. You want to start with Halo?
Halo, yeah, I like that. We'll start with Halo, and we can compare the two openings. These brand new episodes because so it's the opening of the series and how they did it. I mean, Halo was interesting. What they did there. I mean, I didn't even mind the story being different. So let's start Halo.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. All right, so we'll start with Halo. So like you said, the beginnings were very different. So right off the bat, I don't know too much about the whole story. I didn't play the game that much. So I'm kind of going into it new.
I almost didn't make it out of college because of Halo. So
yeah. Oh yeah, I know you said you had that buddy who
yeah. Like our valedictorian, our salutatorian when in high school almost didn't. He dropped out at school or got kicked out of school our first semester freshman year. I had problems my second semester freshman year. My roommate had problems first semester freshman year. Halo almost took us all out. It was terrible.
That's funny. Yeah, it's. I know the gameplay was fun. It was definitely something different, something new. But yeah, I just never really got into it that much. Like I understand, like and appreciate what it did for just the shooting genre and stuff like that. But I know people love the story, like love the story.
And I think that's going to be his biggest problem. People are going to say this is not what the story is supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, if you like, I don't know a lot, but I know you never see his face. You never know who John. Yeah,
he's Master Chief. I've never seen Master Chief's face. I couldn't believe the first episode they take off his helmet. What?
Yeah, that's definitely a big. From everything I read, a lot of people were like, it's kind of a smack in the face to people who play the video games because they're like the whole time you're waiting for this like unveil kind of thing, and then they do it in the movie. Yeah, but it makes sense why they have to do it in a TV show. Like you just can't have this character walking around in a mask the whole time. It's a cool concept, but
you can't really. Mandalorian.
Well, even in the Mando, but that was part of. They did it too early. Eventually,
I think you can eventually show his face, but you had to do it right then.
Yeah. That's I thought was kind of weird. I'm like, wow, really? You're doing it like the first episode, not even at the end of the season or anything like that, like a teaser, like the first episode. Like you're not even planned, So I thought that was kind of crazy. But
that was way too early. But I guess with the Band-Aid off. So they told us this is not going to be like the game. They ripped the Band-Aid off, so I'm not too mad about it anymore.
Yeah, it didn't like upset me that much where I like some people were like, flipping off the TV and yeah. So, but yeah, man, what do you think about the whole episode 1 for Halo altogether?
It was pretty good. I mean, they explained the main characters. That's kind of what you really need to do in the first episode. You explain what's going on in the universe, but you kind of got context clues about what's going on in this great war. You explain the main characters. You introduce them by name. You see lots of violence, which is good. And I mean, they did good. It's a good debut. You know, it's a lot more action because you want to get people in right away. So my worry is
Mhm.
going to be is the story strong enough because they're going to show the violence. They're going to show the Halo's already popular in itself. They're going to have people that are going to revolt against it. So is the story strong enough? Is it strong enough that they're going to be able to hold our attention?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it could be. I'm really curious to see what all this stuff means, like, and how close they're gonna keep it to the game, which I
Chill.
think there is very, yeah, it's gonna be very loosely. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested, like you have the human alien and this whole he's remembering stuff and who
Because
he is and what, yeah.
he's supposed to be the supreme weapon. He's like the perfect weapon.
Yeah.
Master Chief is it. Like they created him to kill and just to take orders. It's really very similar to Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know,
I was thinking more like Judge Dredd. Like if you ever seen Judge Dredd, like he's literally made in a test tube to be the perfect, you know,
but they think
judge.
someone. It's a lot, very much like Jason Bourne, almost.
Mhm.
You know, and they try to wipe away the memories. They control everything about him, the whole suit, and this artifact changed everything immediately. Part of the problems I also don't like the fact that they didn't show who he was beforehand. How
Mm.
they would take orders and go. There's no question. They say something, do it, it got done.
Mhm.
They didn't show that, so it's kind of hard to compare.
I
So
mean, they talked about it. They didn't show it because they talked about the girl's mom.
girl,
How what Master Chief did there, and he's like, like, oh, we were just following orders.
yeah, Luke
So,
Holland.
and it was the whole thing how they're like brainwashed. You're like, oh, they know stuff we don't know, and then she just the easiest thing is like, did you ever think it's the other way around? And I'm like, oh, I was like, you're on the ground, you're literally seeing the stuff that they don't know, so it makes
That's a
sense.
soldier's life, though, isn't it? I wish I had Martin right now to ask, but that's what a soldier's life is. You take orders and you just do what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem because they don't have eyes. They don't see what's going on, and especially when you're dealing with a galaxy, different planets, different. I mean, there's so much that they don't see, and they're making your decision for you, and you know they have no idea what's going on, and you're not supposed to question anything.
Hmm.
But they can't have the greatest weapon in human history questioning orders.
Yeah.
That's, I couldn't believe they were so willing to kill him so fast.
I know the president,
Yeah.
chick, whoever she's in, the lady in charge, she's like, well, then I thought it was a little weird. She's like, she goes, drop the girl. And if he gets in the way, drop him. No one says that. Who the hell says drop him? It was like, you're a military, political, like, high guy. You don't say, like, I would understand, like, eliminate him or, like, not drop him. I'm like, what?
Of the war, sorry, that he's been
Yeah.
compromised, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. Like, if he's in the way, drop him. I'm like, no one says that, man.
And then you gonna send his team out there to do. That's just stupid. It's literally stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they followed. See, now it's like, who's really in charge of the Spartans? Is it the military, like the greater group, or is it the white chick? I can't think of her name with the blonde hair. Because she's like, listen, do what I say. And they're like, gotcha. So,
Yeah, but they're also what you'll see is like they're still Master Chief's unit.
yeah.
And he's their commander. He is everything. So they will look. They'll look at her. They'll look at Master Chief, and they're like, "We'll follow him wherever we go." And we know that's coming. So I mean, that's good. It was a lot of blood. That was a bloody, bloody scene. And then they killed all the kids.
Oh my god.
I mean, within 20 minutes of the episode starting, all the kids are dead.
I did not see that coming. I did not. I thought he's gonna, like, the door's gonna bust open. He's gonna aim, and then like
Master
you know,
Chief
the alien's gonna get shot. Yeah,
kills him.
something like that. And I was like, oh, they did that. Okay, damn. Oh, this is gonna be crazy.
And I think they did it to show that the Spartans really aren't there focusing on saving the people. They're just coming to get something done. They're there because they told them, hey, the aliens are here. This is where we're gonna go kill them. That's it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like,
Like
oh
they
yeah, we
to do their
should.
job.
Yeah, we're doing our job. We're getting out. They have nothing
Yeah.
humane about them, and that's what the artifact's going to change all of that and make them a lot more humane and understand that they see things, understand things that are more. So
Mhm.
it's going to be interesting. I think I like where they're heading, but if you think it's going to be like the game, it's not. It's just loosely based on, like a story that's loosely based on
Mhm.
true events. It's going to be loosely based on true events. Like that's what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be its own thing, which I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm digging it so far. I like it. You know, like you said, the violence was crazy. Like, dang, like, well, then right off the bat, where she's like running away from, and she sees like the spaceship or whatever, and like they just start like disintegrating and like losing a leg. Like the one girl running gets shot.
Oh
Yeah, I was like, damn. So I thought that was intense. That was intense. You know, like, yeah. So that was kind of cool. Just seeing. I guess since it's on the streaming service, they can take
do
it that
whatever
far.
they want. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
Oh, you don't like it?
Well-
Strengthen us.
but so the story, it was kind of set up like he kind of starts getting his mind back, I guess, and starts to think for himself, which is a problem, like you said. And I think that, you know, this whole season at least is gonna revolve around him figuring out who he is, or what he is, you know, stuff like that.
I think he's going to figure out a lot more, even in the next 2 episodes. I think the rest
Mhm.
of the team and all going to figure out what's going on, and that's going to become a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the doctor chick, the scientist chick,
Yeah.
she, if you saw at the end, she was like smiling, like she's like, oh, you know, it's like, you know, like Morpheus, and then he was like, you know, he's believing. She was like happy almost.
I think it's the power that she saw from the
Mhm.
art. She still would love to
Mm,
control the Spartans because, I mean, who doesn't like that power? They only listen to
yeah.
me. The person who can weaponize the most important weapon in the world is the most important person in the world. No one doesn't mind having that. But when she sees the power that artifact has, that changes a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Or I think she knows what it is,
mhm.
and she like knows the importance of it, you know, kind of stuff.
And she also knows that she's a Master Chief for John. She has a
Mhm.
connection with
Mhm.
him. So one way or another, she's probably gonna get her hands on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. So that's gonna be interesting. So then, so finally, before we move on, you see Master Chief's face for the first time ever. There it is, right there. Is that how you pictured it?
I mean, yes, square jaw, very military man type of thing. Yeah, I
Mhm.
see it. He just looked a little goofy to me though. It's just
Right?
too goofy. Like I was like, what's wrong with him? I was thinking like
I,
a super soldier. You thinking like this is it. I'm about to see it. And it's like, oh, goofy guy, like a regular guy. I saw him down the
yeah.
street, you know.
I think it was. I mean, no matter what, it was going to be disappointing to anybody. Also, it's just getting a person like that, and I don't say even a person like that. Just getting a person and put them in that big suit, and then you just take off just the helmet. Like it doesn't. Yeah, you know, it's gonna be big body, little head, no matter what you do. That was like the Gears of War. I don't know if you ever played Gears of War. That was the issue they were having was cool. They're gonna have these giant boots and giant guns and giant thing is like, so you have to make these guys giants. I mean, they're so
Like,
big, you know. Yeah. So I mean, I get it, but I think no matter what, the gaming people are probably disappointed. I mean, if anybody's watching, you know, and you saw it and you played the game, let us know. You know, were you disappointed with the face reveal? But I gotta agree with you, it was a little goofy, you know. Something with this is his
he didn't look like a
I don't
hard
know.
ass. Like he's supposed to be the greatest
Yeah.
of all time. We're supposed to see someone who looks epic. You
Yeah.
know, like this is going to be one of those Dolph Lundgren moments when you see him, you're like, oh yeah, you know, he's real. You know,
Yeah.
and I saw him, and I was like, oh, it's a dude.
Yeah.
That was it. You know, you're Master Chief. You're everything, and he's just a guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, so many people were talking about it. You know, a lot of people were like, some people I was surprised. A lot of them were like, I don't care because it's not the game, so it's not the real Master Chief. You know, so I'm like, you know, you could do that. You know, it's a different version of it of Master Chief, but it's not the real one.
Still 117. You know, it is really him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I liked it. I thought it looked good. I thought the costume design looked really good. His voice, I thought his voice was pretty good. Yeah.
Especially with the mask on, with the helmet on. I think they could have
Mhm.
waited a couple more days. They could have figured out, you know, a couple more episodes before we just revealed that the whole face thing. And I think it would have would have played better for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you would have got to know his personality long enough that now the face reveal might have worked out.
Yeah. And I think like obviously, you know, Mandalorian is probably the other one where you don't see his face. And I think that's why it worked out. And that's Pedro Pascal. He's not a nobody. Like he is a, you know, big tier, you know, actor. And for most of season 1 you didn't see his face, so it was really interesting. Like what they did with that, it was like, we're gonna build him up, you know, and then do the big reveal, and where it's more meaningful. And I think they were trying to do that here, like, oh, see, you can trust me, here's my face. And it was like,
I thought she
it
was gonna
just was,
laugh.
yeah, right.
His face. She's like, that's not
Like,
Master
put your
Chief.
helmet back on. Yeah, right.
Man.
Put your helmet back on. What you
April
doing?
Fools. April Fools.
Yeah, so
I
yeah,
mean,
so it's just,
they have some ways to go, but the violence is good, and the show seemed good. My wife was even interested, so I mean, they might be able to pull it off. And of course, everyone has complaints, but good start.
yeah, yeah, I like it. Here we'll kill a few seconds because the other guys in Nerd Huddle are finishing up theirs, so we can go live on the other channels, and then we'll anything else. Well, I figure we'll start Moon Knight when we bring everything else up. Anything else on Halo before we move on?
I like they showed the first person view from inside the helmet. I think that was pretty good. They need to do that. That was important. I didn't understand how when they used when the Spartans used the same weapons that the people were using, they were able to kill the aliens, but not the people when they're using those weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like when they had the machine gun, no aliens died, and then Master Chief grabbed the machine gun and he killed like 4 of them right away. That didn't make any sense. I was like, all right, did the armor somehow make the bullets stronger? Does that make any sense? Really? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Or maybe they just missed every shot. They're just stormtrooper training. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's like stuff I can like look past, you know.
All those details that like,
yeah.
I mean, get over it. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't, it's not gonna change the story that much for me. When you start doing something where it's like contradicts part of the plot, then I'm like, that's when it starts bothering me. Little things I can kind of look over, you know, but yeah.
No, it will. I'm pretty sure that they're going to contradict a lot of stuff.
You think
Even
so?
with the planet, yeah, the whole reach thing would be something.
Yeah, for sure. But cool, man. Let me add the other things, and we'll move on to Moon Knight.
And then compare those two openings because Moon Knight is different. Their opening is totally different than Halo.
Yeah. Cool. Let me change this one thing real quick. And then anybody watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're on our road to 200. So we're trying to get our 200 subscribers. So make sure you guys hit that sub button. Helps us out a lot.
As long as we get more subscribers and keep on going, we'll keep on doing contests and thanking you guys for helping us out, help us get further and further in. I mean, we spend a lot of time trying to figure out these things, so I hope if we put enough content out there, people will enjoy it. At least we could be the voice for people that are thinking the same exact thing. That's all I really think. I don't know anymore, but I think that people want a voice out there. So if you're thinking the same thing, subscribe and leave comments and let us know. Or if you're not thinking the same thing, do the same thing. I love to hear both sides of the arguments.
Yeah, even if you don't like it, I mean, there's people that's left comments on our Bel-Air stuff saying they're like, I don't like this show. It sucks, blah, blah, blah. And that's obviously the opposite of how we feel. But, it's like, cool, but we can at least talk about it, chat about it, put stuff in the comments, so, like we said earlier, we're both fans of like just watching shows. I love watching movies. I love going to movies as when I was a kid. I still love going to movies. Like my girlfriend she's not a big movie person. So it kind of like sucks, but I love going to the movies. The whole experience is always fun. I love watching TV shows and just getting into it and talking about it and stuff like that. So, so I mean, I know me and you aren't the only ones. I know there's a bunch of other people. I know Braden, he just joined us, joined the Nerd Huddle Network with us. He was kind of the guy with Dynasty Pylon talking sports, and then you'll find out like, oh, he's a big comic book guy. He likes this. He knows this. He knows a lot of stuff too. So I was like, all right, like, I mean, it's like a perfect fit for the channel, with all of us. So, and then I'm sorry, Braden. He had messaged me or I left a comment on our Joker deleted scene video. He's like, why didn't you tell me you were doing this? I'm like, man, I'm sorry. So I'm like, now you're part of the group. So now you'll know when we're doing it.
We say something before we go on. Like, hey, wait.
Yeah. I feel bad because he's the one that showed me, and he posted it in the Facebook group. So he's the reason why I knew about the scene in the first place. So,
sorry, Brandon. That's a part.
Yeah. So, but now he's part of the group, and we're glad to have him on. I know he's doing a lot of Dynasty Pylon stuff. He knows his football, and he knows his comic book stuff too. So, I'm glad to have him part of the team. But yeah,
Dynasty Pylon. Look at our groups. I mean, we're always in the description about those things. Dynasty Pylon is probably our most comprehensive, especially with football shows, especially with Dynasty, individual defensive players, anything you're talking about fantasy football. They really cover all those things, so you really should subscribe to.
This is you guys know I love you, right? What you do, that's what a kid says to like a parent when
So
right before they did something. I just flamed your friend who's a Bears fan.
Uh-oh.
Wait, who's that? Because we're both Bears fans.
So wait a minute. So wait, is it Martin? Did she go on Martin?
Yes, I think you know him, considering there are many Bears fans. Well, there's like 11 of us.
There's only 11 of us. Why are our tickets so much money? Every time I go to a game, I spend $200. This is ridiculous.
It's dude. It's like almost it's the same price as going to Disneyland or Disney World. It was like Bears game, Disney. It's like Jesus. Still more fans than Chargers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's still more than the Chargers. If we have 11, the Chargers have 2. If you're talking about ratio.
That's not a fair. That's going to be a game we're going to do on a Sunday morning. We're going to do rank the fan bases. we got to rank the fan bases, like as in who's got the biggest fan base. It's gotta be like so we have to take off our fan Bears hat and then figure it out.
We're the best. We're the best. There's no one else.
I know we're not, man. Chicago's a city of haters.
So is Philly. It's like the only team I would compare to Chicago would be Philly. That's it.
Yeah. And the Seahawks after the Russ trade. Come on. You don't think you're gonna get Baker Mayfield? Yeah, that's definitely a game we're gonna do on Sunday. We'll do like a fan base one. We'll add that to everything else. But cool. Philly fans made me cry once.
Well, hey, I mean,
Well, I gotta know why.
you're human because they make everyone cry, including Santa Claus. They boo Santa Claus and throw snowballs at.
Yeah, Philly fans are super toxic. I'm sorry. I mean, I just come from Chicago fans, so I know we're super toxic too. But man, you guys, Philly fans, you know, look at Will Smith. Perfect example.
Too soon. You better watch out.
Yeah.
For that hand.
I know. Oh my god, that's why I need to make a little like a gif like that. Come and slaps someone. You guys are emotional wrecks after one negative event from your team.
One.
That just means we love our team more than you guys do.
Always. It's always like we go from we're the greatest team of all time to we're not going to make the playoffs to we suck. That's in a 3-hour period.
Every year. Every year that's how it is. Every year that's how it is. It's going into the season. Oh man, we could be good. We can make it. We can do the playoffs. A few games later, like, oh, come on. And then by the end of the season, we're like, fire everyone. Let's go, Blue Crew. Okay. Haha. Oh yeah, oh my god, it's Martin. Yeah. All right, man. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this train on the rails a little bit.
Moon Knight.
Right. Let's talk Moon Knight. We'll save some of the football stuff for Sundays. But Moon Knight. Ooh. First episode came out today as of recording this.
So in comparison, like we just talked about Halo, Moon Knight, no one knows nothing. I mean, I know a little bit about the graphic novel. I was telling them, read like a couple of them, but I really don't know a lot of information about it. So they have to introduce the entire world to us. And it started with one guy, which is a guy that I really never even saw because I always saw the other guy, Mark.
Yeah.
Introduced Steven. And they did a really good job even with that, though. I mean, I feel like you saw his job. We see what his problems are, what his deficiencies are. He's a little scared little guy. He's not very confident. He gets pushed around by everybody. No one knows his name. He's afraid of girls. And the first thing you see is that he's strapped to the bed.
Yeah.
Strapped to a bed, and then you put sand around to make sure that you don't see a footprint. And then he puts tape on the doors to make sure he didn't walk out the door.
So I was like, does he know then? He knows.
He has to be diagnosed. That's what my wife said. She was like, is he diagnosed then? Does he know what's going on?
Yeah.
He has to know because he's going to blacken out. And it ended up in new places. He said that. I black out and I find myself in all these different places. So I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, give me 1 second. My cat's not. I don't know if you can hear him or not. Yeah. He's in nonstop meowing for 5 minutes. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. We got Martin. So I don't know how you guys have the time to watch all these epic shows and movies and keep up. You guys do great work. Keep up the great work, yeah. And we still keep up with the Bruce Arians and all that other stuff too. I don't know how we do that at all. Because we're not in college, Martin. That's why.
Yeah, I had no time.
There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, I was barely doing shows with Fredo like a couple times a month, when I was in my nursing program. So yeah, not being in school frees up a lot of time. A lot. So
I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, man, like that was the one thing I was thinking. I'm like, well, if he does all this stuff to himself, like he straps himself to the bed, sand, all that, he must know he has this problem. So I was like, but then I'm like thinking, so is this the first time he's talked to one of the other personalities or what? Because everything seemed new to him almost, even though he knows it's there.
Well, yeah, so he has the dissociative personality disorder.
Mm.
So he doesn't know that, I think, but he knows that he walks during the night. And he'll go out and find himself in all type of places because he just goes out walking. So I think that's when he thinks that he could stop himself, because if he didn't have to stop himself, he would just easily just untake the ankle brace, whatever, take that off, hop off the bed over there, and just go out the window. Because if it's just another person, I don't think he realizes a whole personality. I think he just thinks it's a disorder, sleeping disorder.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the difference.
Yeah, because there was the part where he's in bed for the first time and he's listening to an audio tape to how to stay awake. And hey, look at that! I like the stream. So I'm like, oh wait, he's trying to stay awake. I'm like, that's different. So
because he thinks he probably is a sleepwalker.
Yeah,
places and stuff like that, and then that's he doesn't realize how extreme his case is, and I think that's what we saw was all the extremity, how extreme how it goes. And as the personality doesn't just not just a person, has a different name, different type of job, all these powers and all
different accent.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, it was really cool to they show first they show Ethan Hawke's character, drinking the glass and then breaks the glass and then puts them in his shoes, and I was like, what? Yeah. that's very different.
Well, like those people that
with themselves kind of
themselves and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought first thing. I was like, oh, he's just trying to punish himself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, either that or like he has to do that in order to feel something all day. Like, I don't know. I feel it's going to get explained. But it was just like a very good teaser. And it was also like, that was the very first scene was the bad guy, or I think it's who that's the bad guy is. You usually don't get that in a lot of these Marvel movies. It's usually like good guy, and then the bad guy somehow comes from the good guy kind of thing. And this was like,
they treated it. It's almost like seeing Jesus walk through, all these people, and they're part of the way, and they're just like in awe of him and everything. Now I understand they're all followers, so that's probably why. But they were in awe of him, and then everyone wanted to be judged. I can't believe people were actually stepping up to be judged. And if you're judged not be a good person, your life is gone. Crazy.
Yeah, that was really crazy. I was like, because then he like sucks the life force or something, like they turn to the gray, like, so I thought, I'm like, damn. So I mean, this is gonna be like intense with stuff like this. But I mean, even like from what the early reviews said, they're like, this isn't a kid's show. Like, this is definitely made for an older audience, which I'm down. I was like, yeah, not everything needs to be super kid friendly. You can go definitely the Daredevil route and like get a little dark with it.
Well, I mean, this is even more because apparently it's supposed to be going more into ancient Egyptian religions and what they believed in, and really diving into it, and not just like glossing over it. Which Marvel's complaint about what they're going to do with Black Adam. It's not just a gloss over. This is not what X-Men did or any of that stuff. They're going to dive deep. The 9 Egyptian gods are all going to be apparent in what's going on here, and they talk about this stuff from the beginning. And you see Egyptian god before you even see, was it Mark? All of Steven is talking to him in his head. This is before you even realize who Steven is. I mean,
Mark.
Who Mark is.
Yeah.
So I mean that was pretty cool too. I mean, they're treading on some really crazy things.
Yeah. I mean, you already have the Norse mythology, with Thor, Odin, Loki, all that stuff. Now they're going Egyptian, and in the comics, I mean, Hercules is a thing, so you definitely got like the Greek gods and stuff like that. So, like, how far are they going to get into it? Are they going to? I don't want to bring that up. Something I was gonna like go, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole. And I'll tell you off air. Yeah. But yeah, it was just how deep are they going to get into it? And just by how much Steven knew, he's like, oh, hey, the banner outside was missing some of the gods, blah blah blah. There should be 9. There's only 7. I'm like, he knows his stuff. Like he
There should be
like
9,
loves it.
and he eventually he's going to become sorry, more part of that museum. I think that's going to eventually happen. But it's going to take some other stuff going on in his life, and for them to start to respect each other. This is very much a Incredible Hulk type of story. Respecting each side, understanding what they bring to the whole person. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if Incredible Hulk met Batman. That's what we got.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool. And it's just how Oscar Isaac is just so damn good. Like, holy crap. Like the one scene where he's going to meet the girl for the steak dinner, and it's just a close-up on his face. And I'm like, not everyone could do that. He's definitely one of those guys where like you see all this emotion, all this confusion, and just kind of like you see like he's like, am I going crazy? What's going on? Like it all in his face. And I'm like, damn, that was so good.
But it takes a strong actor to be able to play 2 very distinct characters in the same scene and not look goofy. A lot of times it seems like it's like almost cartoonish. No, he did play both. You believe both.
Mm-hmm.
You believe he's the scary little guy, and then you also believe he's this badass that's able to do all this stuff and kick everybody's ass. Which is crazy. I mean, even when he's driving through town and all the stuff he's able to do, you believe both of them. But I hope they explain why he kept on coming back. What's going on that Steven is keeps on coming back, and why Mark's not able to able to stay. Which is like opposite of what I saw in my very limited view, obviously. That I thought that Mark was mostly the strong one that's always around, and then sometimes he became Steven. Seems the exact opposite.
In this one, yeah. I mean, at least from what we know. I mean, from Steven's point of view, it could be he's always around, and then Mark kind of, from Mark's point of view, that's Steven. Yeah, see, it's already getting a lot, but but I like it so far. It's good. I think it gives you a lot of the questions. Oh, did you catch the joke? Because they're avatars for the gods. And he's like, oh, you're an avatar. He's like, oh, I like that movie with the blue people.
The blue people.
And then he's like, oh, the anime. I was like, yes, so good.
That's funny.
So that was
Avatar for Netflix, guys. It's coming.
I think this month, right? Or next month?
No, this is April. Yeah, so April. Yeah,
April. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Which I add another thing to the list. So, see, come on, guys, you need to make us get big and viral already. So this could be our job. Like, I want to be like Den of Nerds, where every day
we'll do watch parties, and we'll just talk about these things and give you all the information. I'll study about all of it. We'd like to do this already. So can you imagine this being your job? That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Oh man, because then you just like research all day, like go on Twitter, see what everyone's saying, look at this, look at that, and like, oh man, I would love that. But that's the dream, like to get paid to watch TV and then talk about it with other people. But we'll see, maybe one day. But yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything else that really popped out of my head. Oh, him switching back and forth.
Yeah.
Did that confuse you, or did you like it?
I liked it and I understood. As I said, my only thing I was confused about was why. Why was Steven always coming back? If Mark's taking over and he's able to just pop and take over, then why is Steven coming back?
Well, didn't he say at the end, he goes, don't fight me, or something like that? So I wonder if it's like the 2 personalities in the one body fighting for control, where eventually, I know this is definitely gonna date myself with this. I don't know if you ever watched the Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon back in the day. Where it's an Egyptian pharaoh god, not a god, but like Egyptian kind of ruler inside of the kid, and they share the same body, and and they like learn how to live together. You know, so
Yeah,
and I wonder if that's what they're gonna do. It's like,
yeah, just like the Incredible Hulk,
yeah,
Professor
yeah,
Hulk, like
yeah,
is that type of thing. So
yeah.
I
But I
think
think they don't like each other, like Hulk and Banner.
they learned how to respect each other, but then it's gonna break. It's gonna
Yeah. I
break down.
I know it's like way off topic, but the new comic book where he's a star, like a ship, where the Hulk is like a ship.
Yeah,
I don't know if you read that one or not. Holy shit, that is crazy good. It is.
really is good.
It is. It
I
is
thought that was gonna be
bonkers.
too much. I was like, all right, that doesn't make sense. He's a ship.
But it makes sense where like it's the body of the Hulk, but inside the brain is like the cockpit, and that's where Bruce Banner is running it. But the engine room is the essence of the Hulk, and whenever he needs more power, he cranks up the stress level on the Hulk. And so there's like one part where he needs the body to be stronger, like so he cranks up the throttle, which makes the Hulk in like the Hulk personality inside. He's fighting like a giant Wolverine, and it's pissing Hulk off even more. So like it's so cool. So whenever he needs more power, he just makes the Hulk in this little room, in the mind, more angry, and by throwing more shit at him. But in this last one, the last one I read, Hulk knows it, and he's like,
Out.
well, I think he I don't know how long he's known it, but it's Hulk, so he like has to fight, like he cannot not fight.
Mhm.
So after he killed a giant like 50-foot Wolverine, like it was epic. Like he ripped off his claw and like threw it through the air and like killed the giant Wolverine. It was fucking cool as shit. Yeah, and like he like looked up, he goes, Banner, like he knows what Banner's doing.
Oh,
He knows he's like pissing him off on purpose. But dude, it's weird because you have the Hulk body, but then Banner and the Hulk are inside the body, and one's the pilot and one's the engine. It's so weird, and it makes sense, and it's such a great story. It sounds like the stupidest thing in the world when I first heard it.
I think
But
we're about to get off this thing right now, and I'm going to order the right?
yeah, it's good. Also, Variant Comics. They do a lot of it, and they're the ones that got me into it.
I know Variant Comics.
They got me into it. So, but I know that's way off point of Moon Knight, but I guess MCU or Marvel. Oh, we got Derpy. Crap, I missed the Halo review. Oh man, sorry. I think you can go back and watch it if you want.
Yeah. And we'll
scroll back. Yeah, we'll upload a video of just the Halo, probably the next day or two.
Yeah, and then you make sure you hit us up with all your comments and let us know, because I will answer them right away.
Yeah. We get back to the comments, which is a good thing. So sorry about that, man. Derpy, I know Derpy was waiting to hear us about that. Yeah, man. So let's finish up Moon Knight. Anything else?
Wait, so where do you think he's gonna go with this? I mean, so we finally see the entire costume. We finally see, all of Mark in his glory. Are they going to explain now what he is? Who he's the vessel for, the acceptance. How far is this going to go? Or is Mark going to take over almost most of this stuff, and Steven's basically take a back seat? Because basically when Mark takes over, I mean, he gets dates. He gets everyone likes him and all this stuff, and and then when Steven takes over, it's just like, yeah, what's up, Scotty? Whatever.
Yeah.
Steven, sorry.
Yeah, no one knows his name. I think that's what's gonna. You're gonna get probably the next episode. You're gonna get a nice little chunk of it where Steven and Mark are gonna talk like through a mirror or some shit, because they already kind of did that already in this episode. And I think that's when he's gonna explain to him like what's going on, the scarab and stuff like that, because even the voice of the god was like, he's like, oh, the dum-dum's in charge now, so it was like, oh, so he already knows what's going on between Steven and Mark. So Moon Knight's powers is definitely mooning people.
Kinda.
Yeah, that'd be funny if I'm sure in the comic. I'm wondering in the comic books
Crescent
if he's
moon.
done it.
He's on a crescent
Crescent moon.
That's
Yeah. But yeah, I can see, and also like they need to do it for the audience. It's like they jumped right into the story, so you need to give some kind of backstory of what's going on and stuff. With why he has the scarab and why he is like doing it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has the chaos in him.
Exactly. He's like, oh my, you're full of chaos. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't be judged. Here's my question: then, who did a better job, Moon Knight or Halo, of a first episode?
First episode. Wow, man, I don't know. I didn't think I was gonna like Halo as much as I did. But oh man, I probably gotta say Moon Knight. I'm more intrigued with what could happen with Moon Knight.
I think I have more information about Halo than I have about Moon Knight, so I enjoyed Moon Knight more because no matter what Halo did, I was going to be always be comparing the two. I was like, I already know this is not exactly what I was expecting, but I'm not upset with what Halo did for that first episode, and I think Moon Knight could have even done more, but sometimes when you only have 6 episodes, you don't want to do too much.
Yeah, and also Halo is kind of its own thing, where Moon Knight is only one thing in this giant picture of stuff. Like he's just a puzzle piece. And then Derpy said, y'all staying up for episode 2? Probably not. I'll probably watch it over the weekend.
I'm probably gonna watch that before work.
Yeah, Halo. So you like Halo? Yeah. Just right off the bat. I think we both liked it.
I like Halo. I think once again I have previous knowledge of it, and I'm not too excited about some of the stuff they did. But overall, I really do like it as its own entity. As long as I could separate the two, as I said, this is like when you have something based on a true events. This is based on a true video game, based on it, not necessarily the exact same story that they gave. Because actually the Halo story is pretty complicated, so that's just that's probably smart for them to do
that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean, this is just. Do you find it annoying that it's not on TV and it's on a streaming? It's on Paramount Plus.
If I was on, if I had cable, I'll be upset. But since I stream everything anyway, it don't bother me none. I got Hulu. Hulu has live sports.
Again, a promo here, man.
For free.
Sponsor. And then Moon Knight, I don't know if it's movie quality until the end. I can't say like I wish that was a movie. Like Loki, I kind of wish it was a movie, but then I kind of don't because you can get more. Yeah. So so Moon Knight so far off to also a great start. So I'm super excited about both of these shows, but Moon Knight, I think Oscar Isaac is definitely gonna bring something special to this. When you get an actor like that, like Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian, and now you get Oscar Isaac, you're getting like really great actors. Pedro Pascal was kind of not fully known yet. Like he did really cool stuff. But I mean, Mandalorian kind of put him over the top. Where Oscar Isaac is,
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. I mean, Poe Dameron. I mean, all the other like, I can't think of any right now. I'm having a brain fart. But because I remember seeing him in a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, he was in this, he was in that. But somebody of his caliber being part of the MCU, I'm excited. Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is that we are going to say that it should have been a movie, but just because of the quality of characters, I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, Dune. How can I forget?
Yeah, exactly.
He was in Dune. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, man. So we're gonna talk about both shows for the upcoming weeks. So I don't know how many episodes does Halo have.
I'm guessing it's gonna
You
be
know,
10. Though. It's
probably. It was a lot longer. So Moon Knight was about almost 50 minutes, I want to say 40 something, and Halo was
a lot
damn near
longer.
an hour.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
So that kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I did not see that coming.
All right, so there will be 9 episodes of the first season. It was originally
Okay.
10, but it went down to 9.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But oh yeah, Oscar Isaac was also Apocalypse.
Apocalypse
So
is X Machina. I mean, we've done a lot of little things.
yeah. So cool, man. Anything else before we move on?
Nope. I think that's really good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep talking about this for the next couple weeks, and then yeah. All right, let's move on. All right, Bel-Air episode 9. So this is last week's episode. So tomorrow is the finale, and I think as long as plans stay on schedule, we're both gonna do a review of episode 10 tomorrow night. So
yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll be able to get this in, and because this episode 9 was great. I really like it. I mean, maybe it's because exactly what I thought was going to happen was happening. Like I was like, yep, this is how it's going to happen. And as it was going, my wife was like, "Shut up." I kept looking at her like she was like, "Shut up." I
you see
saw.
like what I know a little button that says I called it.
Yeah, yep.
Called it.
First thing I really wanted to say, I was really happy that they brought callbacks to the original Vi. You know, not the
Yes.
original Ant-Man, but one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, doing that was really cool. I think shows should pay homage to those type of things. Just give them different characters, but let them see their old characters. I think that really goes a long way. And
Yeah.
recognizing it and tells hey, we understand who these people are. So yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. I thought that was super cool. Bringing the original character. Is she the first one? I think she is, right? The first one from the original
come in
cast.
Yeah,
Right. So I mean, it kind of definitely puts like the stamp of approval of it. How I Met Your Father did it. With it. This show did it. It's definitely, I think, how the way to go.
When you're going, you got pay respects to what it is, and I think that was important.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that part. Second thing, I gotta say this. My wife just telling me this. I am really liking Carlton.
Yes.
And his vulnerability and his character growth. I love it. I mean, him have too much anxiety to be able to sing in that church, and seeing him deal with that. And I love the fact that Will went and talked to him about it. I'm glad he got pushed a little bit, but he went and talked to him about it, and was his support system. And he's starting to I don't know if he's really beating this drug problem, but the fact that he was able to get through a day is the first step. And I just really appreciate him more and more as we're going further along. And I'm loving their relationship more and more as it goes along.
Yeah, I'm so glad they're over the whole Lisa thing. It was getting too much, very CW ish, with the whole love triangles and stuff like that. I was kind of getting over them. Like, all right, like either she needs to stop it, or he needs to quit it, or something. So I'm just glad he's like, cool, I'm over it, man. Just this, don't hurt her. I'm like, all right, cool. And that was like true, because there's the part where Lisa comes at him, is like, you lied. And Carlton jumped in the middle. He goes, hold on, let me explain. And she's like, you shut up.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I did not expect that. I did not expect I thought it was gonna be the opposite. Carlton's like, you didn't tell her. I thought it was gonna be like the complete opposite.
Carlton
I was like, damn.
Because once again, Will put that olive branch, and it helped Carlton, and it strengthened their bond again. And I think that you see in that them become better and better friends and brothers, that brotherhood becoming more and more. I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah, because then it was also like it wasn't just a Will and Lisa problem. It was a family problem, and they knew that, and that was one thing I like, where like they went running to the place where they had to debate together. They're like, like, oh, we gotta tell him. It was like their whole dynamic. I'm like, all right, I'm really liking it. It's just such crazy, like how you, from the beginning of the season, how Carlton was and how everyone felt about him, to now, to episode 9. At the end of episode 9 is just like almost a complete 80. He's like right there. He's like 170. He's like, he's got a little bit more.
I think it helped that you were so much adversaries, but now them to be closer together, because it's a thin line between love and hate. So when you hate that person, that means you have intense feelings for them, and then now you have good feelings, and they're actually growing the bond because they've been through something. A lot of times when you haven't been through anything, it's easy to enjoy each other, to like each other. When you've been through something, it's a lot harder. It's stronger. This is a stronger bond. And I like that they have a stronger bond
now. Yeah, for sure. Carlton was just like the guy. But yeah, what you got?
That's a good brotherhood. Now let's talk about the broken brotherhood.
Oh my God. That was, give that man an Emmy. Like the guy who plays Jeffrey, I was like, yes, that right there, that deserves some kind of award. Like, come on. That was so good. So good. Like, to the crying, to like even his voice was kind of crackling, like it was hard for him to speak almost. And I'm like, man, this was like, it felt real. It was
right on point. It's exactly what Phil needed to hear. It was honesty, the honesty of someone who knows all your dirt. He knows everything about you. That honesty comes hard and hits hard, because he said it, and Phil didn't just blow up. He said, "Yeah, I don't trust you. You're fired." But then he cries because you see the brotherhood. You understand what it is. And Jeffrey, I mean, he didn't hold his tongue too much, even when his campaign manager was in there. Dwayne Martin was in there. He wouldn't hold his tongue at all. He called Phil out a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when Will brought that message back to Uncle Phil, I was like, "Don't do it! Don't show him, no!
Yeah.
I need Jeffrey."
Yeah. But even like Jeffrey, even after all that happened, they were like in each other's face. Like,
talk about son. That's how you get punched in the face.
Ooh, yeah, I know, right?
That's how you get punched in the face.
Yeah. That was a definitely low blow. Yeah, right. Way too close to home. But yeah, that was definitely a low blow, like big time. I'm like, come on, Phil. And then but even after all that, like Jeffrey was still like you can't fire me. It's gonna look bad. It's gonna raise too many questions. And then they come up with this plan. And I was like, even as you're getting fired, you're still thinking about the family.
Yeah. And he said what we talked about, he's not a butler, he's none of that stuff. He is in protecting that entire family. That's what he's there for. He's security, he's protect the family, and he protects the family from him and his ambition. He said it. That's exactly what he does. He's a cleaner, and he protects everything. And without him, I think the whole family falls apart.
Yeah. And he like you said, he said it, and I think that's definitely foreshadowing. That's like Jeffrey exactly told you what's going to happen. It's not going to happen next episode. That's just not enough time. But in season 2, Phil is going to inadvertently destroy the family. And then that's when
it's Lou. Lou is going to come in without having Jeffrey there. It's going to destroy stuff. How many episodes or how long do you think we'll go before he's trying to get Jeffrey back? Do whatever.
I say everything's gonna explode the first episode, and then second episode, I think he's gonna try to put it back together and make it worse. So by the end of the second episode, I think he's gonna, start calling whoever the hell he starts needing to call. So I think the third episode is gonna be like a lot of him like finding him, like where's Jeffrey? And then I think you're gonna find out like Jeffrey like was never gone. He's like, oh, I know you've been looking for me, so
you need to respect me. You need to understand the stuff that I go through, the stuff I do for this family. You need to understand how much I mean to you.
Mm-hmm.
I think he looks for Jeffrey before the end of this episode, of the 10th episode, even before he tries to talk to him immediately, and Jeffrey turns him down.
Okay.
He turns him down, and that we don't see Jeffrey, as you said. I'd like episode 2 or 3 next season. I like that, but I think he turns him down and says, "Phil, you say you can't trust me. What has changed? And now I have a problem with trusting you."
Yeah. That's interesting. They could definitely do that. He's like, yeah, because then also it takes away the power that Phil has over Jeffrey, because now Jeffrey's like, hey, it's all good now. We want you back, and he's like, nah, and they kind of like, because when he comes back, because he's eventually got to come back, and he's part of he is part of the family. But I think that's what it needs to be. It needs to be he's part of the family rather than being just a henchman. You know what I mean? So I think that imbalance needs to go away. And I think something like this needed to happen where that power over Jeffrey needed to go. And now he needs to show like, yeah, I got power over you too. So, it needs to be some kind of balance where, but I don't know.
Jeffrey no longer is the butler and is respected. Not that he's not doing the job still. He's doing all these things, but he's respected as a man. Understand, I can't just treat you with like whatever. So I believe that same thing happened in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he had to go find Jeffrey and offer him all this money and do all this stuff because he disrespected him. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is. You disrespect him, you have to find new respect, realize how much you need him, and then you can bring him back. But until then, we're gonna be without Jeffrey, which that's gonna hurt the show a little bit because he's definitely one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, him and Jazz, which are two of the characters you see the least of, but they're the most important because they're the glue of everything. They're the consciousness, not conscious, the conscious. I don't know, of the group. Where like they both have that moral grounds.
They have too much money. They don't understand. They don't have that in common with everybody else, and the other ones do. They still don't have money. They still like a regular person. They still see right and wrong and tell you and hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, what do you think was going to happen with Jazz and Hillary? She invited him to her hotel room.
Yeah,
I mean.
I don't see. They really haven't shown Will and Jazz that much since the beginning of the series. He drove him there, like stuff like that, and brought him to his record store, and then that was it. And then it's all become
at the party a little bit. Remember, he came to the party and he's been around, but they haven't really developed a relationship. It's because I think Jazz is so much older than Will.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can't really develop that relationship until Will becomes 18.
Yeah, like he can start doing a little bit more stuff. Mm-hmm. But even then, I don't mind that they went with the relationship of Hillary and Jazz. Like that makes more sense.
And that was always part of the show too.
Yeah,
Jazz, it's not Hillary and Hillary turning them down whatever all the time.
Yeah. So I like their relationship, and I think he like you said, even with Phil, is like they're so detached from everything that they need somebody back in the real world to bring them down. And definitely Jazz is it. But I think Jazz might get her into a little bit of trouble because he's too, I don't know how to explain it, maybe too real in a place where it's all fake, you know what I mean? So it's like when, especially with somebody like Hillary, who's all about social media, about this like look and presentation, where Jazz is like now what you see is what you get kind of thing. And it's like, so they're from two different worlds that way as well. So I think that's going to clash.
Well, I think one of the most prophetic parts of the entire show was the minister when he was speaking. And same thing you've all heard about. You cannot serve two masters. You can. That's probably the most important thing that we heard in that entire episode. You cannot serve two masters. You must choose God. You must choose one. You cannot try to serve money and power. And that's going to be always Hillary's problem. That's also going to be Phil's issue. That's why he had to step away from the power. I think that's going to be a problem with Viv. I think Vivian's going to have a problem when she's out doing all that commitment and realizing her relationship with her, not just Hillary, but also Ashley. How much Ashley needs her right now, at being a eighth grade 13-year-old girl that doesn't want to share with her mom. How much you're gonna be missed, or she'll see Ashley growing up and realize that she's missing these things.
Yeah,
and she's not going to be able to go through the whole thing. But I'm glad she's going. I'm glad that Phil is pushing her to do it. And he says, "I'll stay at home." He won't be able to do it. One,
no way.
Yeah, and Viv is not going to enjoy it. She's not going to enjoy losing that relationship. And I think that's going to be really big.
Yeah, I mean, in every family, there's one parent that's the bad cop, and one parent that's the good cop, and Viv has always been the bad cop. Not that she's a bad parent, but she's the strict one. She's the one that sets the rules, sets the boundaries, and this and that, and gives pretty good advice, stuff like that. Where Phil was just you want that? All right, you got it. You want to do this? All right, you got it. And I think that's gonna come into he's gonna start getting family problems that he's not used to, that Viv is always taking care of.
Especially
yes,
and that's because Hillary's he's her role model, he's her everything, her Superman. That's her dad. That's who he is. Ashley, he's not gonna be ready to handle this LGBTQ plus stuff. He doesn't know what to do. He's not gonna know what to do. He hears it, but it doesn't click for him that maybe she's having an identity crisis and she doesn't know where she's going, where she fits in. Which everyone does during the 13th. Where do I fit in? And he won't even understand that. Viv already figured that out now, but she's not going to be there to be able to do it. And this is all going to fall into play with them, with the family falling apart because he doesn't know how to do this. And having girls makes it harder. You can't do it. It's hard to do by yourself. It really does. It really makes that problem. Yeah. And Carlton, the drug problems probably going to come up, rear his big ugly head, and then Lou. So that's Will, that's Carlton, that's Hillary, and that's Ashley. They're all falling apart, and you don't have anyone to lean on. So, Jeffrey being gone, and then Viv being gone, it's going to blow up everything. And
he's not going to know how to handle it. I think he's going to handle it I want to say a traditional kind of big guy. You know what I mean? The aggressive way. Yeah, he's you're not allowed to go. You can't do that. You can't do that. And he's gonna do a lot of that, and that's gonna cause a lot of issues. And
we're all right, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's oh man, yeah, that's gonna be right now. Everything is pretty good, but everything is barely hanging on to on a string. So like you say, everything's gonna really start. It's all gonna come down, and it's gonna be not good, really not good. And Phil's gonna lose it. I think he's gonna lose it.
Well, we're tiptoeing around the whole thing what Phil did, but he went in and had a beautiful speech and bowed out of the DA contest special election. I thought that was exactly what he was going to do. I thought that was a smart move on his part to try to put his family first, and that was the best way to keep his wife by his side, honestly. And I know she'll say whatever because she will give up her dream again because it's scary for her to step out there. But if she did that, she will always resent him, and he needed to allow her to do what she need to do and go out there and try. Yeah. She realized maybe this is not her. She has to try. If you don't let him the opportunity, then you might be in trouble.
Yeah, she had called back. Also, like the whole her talking to the old Viv kind of, you know, scene at the table, and she was just unloading everything, and I just feel like it was like speaking to yourself, like, you know, when people always have that like that time machine, like older version of you and stuff like that. So it's like, here you got the Viv that went through it all already, talking to the new Viv, saying like it's gonna work out, it's gonna be okay. So I thought that was like super cool, you know. But she was freaking out.
You're going to be okay. Talk to your family.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really like a really well done like callback, or not a callback, but a nostalgia moment, I guess. I don't know. So real quick, talking about Ashley. So when she's kind of starting to open up to Viv, and Viv was kind of asking questions, and then she kind of like said something. I forgot what exactly she said, but she goes, "Oh, see, you don't understand, you know, what I'm going through, you know, about what she did." Like I forgot what she called it, but Viv was like, "Oh yeah, we gave money to this organization about, you know, for was it for gay marriage or something like that, or equal rights."
Yeah.
You know, and she goes, and she said the most underhanded. She goes, "That's commendable," or, you know, I'm like, damn. I was like, but she's like, "You could do more, you know, and you should do more," you know. So I was like,
but what she also was doing was kind of reaching to figure out what was Ashley's stance on and what was going on with her. And if you know anything about 13-year-old girls and their mothers, that's where that divide starts happening. Where I'm an adult, I don't necessarily want to open up. And now you're talking about an issue where you don't know if you're going to be accepted, even though you're going to be accepted, but you don't know if you're going to be accepted in that family. The way she is, she's scared.
Yeah.
And it's really the mother's job to make her understand that she's going to be accepted, that you know, ask her the questions she really wants to ask, you know, about your what's going on. Ask the question and then be there to let you know that you're full of love, you know. So I don't know, that's something's going to come up, and I think she's the reason why I don't think Vivian will make it through the entire what's it called,
the internship or fellowship.
I don't think she'll make it through the entire fellowship a full year because of Ashley. A full year of her being gone, with Ashley going through her identity crisis, trying to figure out who she is, where she belongs, what she likes, how she identifies. Those are big questions. And you need to at least know that you're supportive. And it's not always it's not always your father. For a girl, sometimes it's important that be your mother. And,
yeah. And that's what I feel. It's very, like, I feel like Hillary's problem is fairly simple. It's money at this point. You know what I mean? And it's just her needing to swallow her pride and get the money from her. That's a simple fix for Phil, because Phil can easily be like, "Here you go."
She said the truth. She thinks he thinks that she just got out of her contract. He doesn't know she owes $50,000 to be sued. That she can't get her stuff out of the house. No, any of that stuff.
Yeah. But I was like that's her big problem, and that should be an easy fix for Phil. Should be, you know. And then Carlton's is a little bit more difficult with the drugs, but also I think Phil could manage it. The one that he just can't and doesn't know how to manage would be Ashley. But then you add all of those problems plus Will's problem with Lou all at once. It's going to be too much at once for him to handle, because I think individually he can handle 3 out of the 4 fairly, you know, not well, I would say without going crazy.
Will he might be able to do any of those, but
but the Ashley one,
your baby girl, and understanding that she's not just your baby girl, but she's becoming her own person, and how to give them the freedom to do that. That's a special job, and I don't know if he's prepared in his, you know, because he's been all about his career for such a long time. Is he prepared to be able to handle that situation?
Yeah. I mean, even like when Viv and Ashley were talking, and Ashley's like, "Okay, good conversation." She just like grabs her phone and starts, and then Viv was like, "Okay, good talk." I was like, I mean, that's just like the way kids today like end conversations, like, "I'm done talking," you know, and phone, you know, like before it was just like, Yeah. You just go to your room, like, all right, I'm out of here. Like it's just the new how to do it. So
It works though. It's like because now that you're still in the room, they just totally ignore you. You know
uh,
what?
yeah. So that was kind of like a little funny because it was just generational. It's very different, So that's always like a hard thing for like I think every parent to go through is um trying to relate to your kid, especially like somebody like Ashley who's the youngest, so she's like in a completely different world than what her parents went through. You know what I mean? Yeah, and even what her siblings went through. So she's gonna have the most difficult time. I
She
think.
will need a lot of guidance in her siblings to really be there for her. But real quick, I have to ask you. So, what do you think is going to happen with Will and Lisa?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, because they kind of made up, I guess.
She almost forgave him, but I feel like
She's still mad. She's still
she's
mad.
mad, and I feel like Will might even take a step back.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I can see that. I can see them. They kind of need to reestablish their relationship. Because I don't think they hate each other. She was pissed, but then once he told her the truth, and I think she's smart enough to understand what her dad would do, and how he is, that he's like, okay, so it's like, all right, I get why you hid it from me because you thought my dad can get the info from me, and she's kind of mad, like, but you think I can't keep that. Yeah, I can't keep that info from my dad. So, but I think there's still the whole cheating part, with her dad cheating on her mom with her stepmom now. And I think once that cat comes out of the bag, she's gonna be pissed at the family, and then even more mad at Will.
And then she,
Yeah,
that could come out next year, and then she goes to school and never comes back, and then she's out of the picture, and we got someone else
yeah.
coming in.
Yeah, you get Tyra Banks #2 coming in or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jackie coming in.
yeah, yeah. But I can see that because like he's already like, I'm not gonna lie to you ever again. You got one in the bag already. Like you're like, what are you gonna do? So yeah, I think she's gonna start to get over it. That's gonna come out, and then she's just gonna be pissed at everybody.
And then she's
She's not.
this family just hurt me too many times. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Like one thing is Carlton, but Viv and Will and Carlton and Phil, it'd be too many.
All new.
Yeah, that's gonna suck because I do feel sorry for her in that because she's just completely the victim with all that, So it sucks. It sucks. But and then one last thing I wanted to ask you was, how do you feel that none of the family knows Carlton's problem? Because Will told Hillary, and Hillary's like, "What?" So I'm like, if Hillary don't know, no one knows except for Jeffrey.
Perfect sense. Because they're so self-absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, he's been perfect their entire life. He's been best at school, best at sports,
Choir boy,
trying to do all those things for the family, trying to be this perfect person. They stopped paying attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
middle child.
he has enough money. Exactly, he has enough money to kind of to hide those things. So he has anxiety, but they don't know anything about the drugs, the Xanax. They don't know anything about the cocaine, any of that stuff. Even though they should, if they're smart enough, they should have put two and two together, knowing that he has a issue with something, and then you see the drugs in Will's bag, and Will ain't taking no drugs. You should have put two and two together. But no parents wants to see the ugliness in their own blood, flesh and blood. That's just part of being a parent.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, they're so self-absorbed in their own little problems in their own little world.
So, and as you said, he's the middle child.
Yeah.
You're not the firstborn. You're not my baby girl. You're the one boy that actually be able to just leave alone, and you able to handle it.
Yeah.
You seem good on the outside, so you should be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks like he's handling it okay, so you're good. So, I got like my daughter who doesn't want to work, and then my youngest daughter who's still too little. We got to take care of her, protect her. So yeah, you kind of get stuck in, especially being a boy in the middle like that. I get it. That sucks. But
And they easily put
yeah, I
you
was
in morgue now. The will's there.
yeah, yeah. But I was kind of surprised that Hillary didn't know though. I thought she would, because she seems like that sibling that is like, oh, you want to go to your friend's house, but you don't want the parents to know. Like, all right, you're cool. Like, you can go. Kind of like you can confide in me stuff that you can't confide in our parents, kind of stuff. So, but her not knowing, I was a little surprised. I was like, oh, really? You didn't know
Age
this?
gap, though. I think it's the 2 to 3 year age gap is a little bit much. So like he
Mhm.
wanted to be doing it during this time, but she's in school with him. So and then she went to college for a little bit, and now so she didn't have time to really figure that out yet. So I mean, and their relationship is good, but it's not like that close.
Yeah,
It's good, it's the age gap.
yeah, yeah. Um, anything else, man?
No, I'm just really excited to see what's going on tomorrow. I am
Yeah.
super excited.
Yeah. So anybody watching live, we're gonna do another live episode tomorrow night. Hopefully not another hour and a half. But we're gonna do just a finale. Just a finale of Bel-Air, the last episode for the season. And then we'll kind of get that show out of our plate and then worry about everything else coming out.
I'm sure we'll add like 5 other things. So
Yeah, I know. I forgot about Avatar or Last Airbender, whatever they're calling it. So oh boy. Yeah, and then then real quick, they just announced prequel to Game of Thrones,
yeah, I
the
saw that.
dragon thing. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to get my heart hurt again.
Well, what's funny? After I watched Halo, there was this new show with what's his name? Robinson. What's the name of that show? It's a new show. Robinson Ian from The Office. What's his first name?
From The Office.
Craig Robinson. I don't know why. Craig Robinson.
Oh, where he's like rich or something, right?
No, so this is like he has his wife already left him for another guy. The stepdad's gonna have his child move to a new place. Um, and what is he doing? He's selling something. I can't remember what Craig Robinson new show. I was watching it and I was like, oh, I'm killing it, killing it.
Mm. I
So
didn't know it was already out.
yeah, so that comes out April 14th.
Okay.
So here's a from rags to riches sitcom about class and capitalism. Frank Roster is a bank security guard living in Miami, struggling to make ends meet. His ex-wife Camille uneasy co-parenting with their preteen daughter. Craig has plans to be an entrepreneur, but no way in getting his money, his ideas off the ground. But by chance, he meets Jillian, a down luck driver for a ride-hailing service. Introduced to a wild world of state-sponsored python hunting. Like he's killing pythons, and whoever kills the most pythons wins like $20,000. And he's going to partner with her to try to make his dream come true. And he's trying to do it before his daughter moves out of state.
Mm.
So yeah, so he's going around killing pythons, killing them in Florida for money.
Oh man, he always gets involved in the craziest stuff, and it always winds up being really good, but so like never never given like good credit. Like I forgot the one where he's the devil with I think is Anna Kendrick is in it. I forgot what it's called. Raptured? I think it's Raptured. I don't remember. That was hilarious. That was so good. And it was like, I think it was Anna Kendrick. Anna Kendrick. Yeah.
But I can't wait to see that.
Oh, he was in Ghosted. I thought Ghosted was really well done, but Rapture Palooza. That's what Rapture Palooza in 2013.
It just came up, Rapture Palooza.
Yeah.
And then he was in what they do in the shadows, whatever.
Was he?
Yeah, I believe he was in that.
I gotta look at that. I'm not sure. You know, his character in Brooklyn Nine-Nine is awesome.
Hilarious. I love it. Yeah.
I mean, he's from. I think he's from Chicago, ain't he? I think he was. Yeah, he's from Chicago. He he went to St. Xavier University, Whitney Young, like, and I think he was a teacher. He was a teacher before he became an actor. So yeah, I mean, he's just, I don't know, he's just funny. Like, I just find him like super funny.
I don't know if we're going to end up talking about it, but Killing It, I'm going to be watching. Anything him killing snakes. We don't do that. Black people don't go around killing snakes. So he got an Uber, and then he was in the Uber, and she stopped. She said, "Oh wait, hold on for a second." She stopped in the middle of the place, and she comes in, and she's like chopping off something in the middle of a field. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" And throws a python in the backseat. You mind if I put this python in the backseat with you? He's like, "Yeah, fine. No, I ain't doing it." He had to put it in there, and the python wakes up.
Oh God!
And she tells him what happened, why he's doing it, trying to whoever kills the most pythons by this time gets $20,000. So that's how the whole show starts. So I think it seems funny enough that I will watch it.
Yeah. Anything he's in. I mean, Eastbound and Down, like those clips with I don't know if you ever seen Bat Fight. It's a Nerd or Die little skit where it's Will Ferrell and Craig Robinson are like, if I can bring it up real quick. Let's see, Funny or Die. I mean, it's super old at this point. It is really old at this point, and it's such a stupid thing. And I remember 2009. Holy shit!
Okay, yeah, you talking about really old?
yeah. Well, it's when Funny or Die was like really, really big. And it's just the stupidest thing ever. Let me see if I bring it up. Let me know if you can hear it. And they did this while they were filming Eastbound and Down. And then he sings about
that fight, it's anyone's game. That fight, the test of wills. That fight, who's gonna win? That fight, you never know who. Looking for a sign of weakness. Totally even, anyone could win. Athletic prowess, let's begin. Bad fight, a gentleman's game. Bad fight, you know the name. It's circling, then you circle some more. You circle, keep on circling and circling and circling, circling and circling, checking out your opponent. Bad fight, taking a chance. Bad fight, a game of skill. Bad fight, it's easy to do. Bad fight, it's done around the world. Generally good-natured, you'll have a good time. Only in rare occasions does it get out of hand. Bad fight, a game of honor and diplomacy, holding hands in hand.
I want to see that.
And this goes on for like a while of him just getting. 2009, man. I still remember that. Yeah, I remember me and my buddy, we were playing like Warcraft, and we'll always like say some of the lines like "a gentleman's game," like, oh man.
Oh,
but yeah,
hilarious.
But yeah, that was just like, yeah, you gotta watch the whole thing. It's just so I've watched that thing so many times. It's just so well done, so stupid. But yeah, Craig Robinson is always. I forgot the first thing I saw him in. I can't remember the first thing I saw him, but yeah. I mean, I say I seen it so many times, like I forget I'm saying it at times, and I say it at work. I said it at work to professionals. They're like, yeah, I seen it. And they're like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry. It was like, so all the goods, he was in the goods. He was DJ No Request or something like that. I don't know if you ever seen the goods.
The first is still The Office.
Yeah. The Office.
I feel like I saw him before The Office in 2005. I feel like oh well.
Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, I know he was in Knocked Up. He was in all those Seth Rogen movies.
Okay. Totally got off topic. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
But yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Where is it coming out on? The
So it's
Killing
gonna be on what's it called? What's the one that we just saw for
Peacock.
Paramount. It's gonna be in Paramount.
Oh, Paramount?
Yeah, because so I was watching Halo. And that was the thing that came up.
It says Peacock.
Is it Peacock? I
6
watched
days ago.
Really?
Peacock original.
It's a Peacock original? I was like, Paramount's killing it.
Yeah, I know, right?
But it makes more sense for him to be on Peacock because he's always been on NBC.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I never thought about it, but yeah, he's always been NBC. We got Martin coming in. Oh man, old school Nerd or Die is hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Like, have you ever seen the outtakes of Eastbound and Down where Danny McBride and Craig Robinson are face to face, and you have that version, the one we just watched from Bat Fight of Will Ferrell with the blonde hair. You know, he's like talking. He's like, oh, that's the hilarious. He's like, let the boy watch. Like, oh, it's so good. Oh man, yeah. You know, and then the whole time Craig Robinson is just trying not to crack up. It's just, yeah, that's still one of the best outtakes ever. And the whole show, Eastbound and Down, was so good. It was
so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a good character.
Also, I feel like when I watched it, I really didn't know anybody else that was watching it. You know, like,
they talk about it. See, I even started talking because they're talking about it on ESPN 1000. They're like, you guys see Eastbound and Down. I was like, oh, let me check this out. And like, I remember like the first couple episodes where I'm like crying, laughing. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta watch this. This is it.
Yeah. I mean, Danny McBride, I think, is a little underrated. Everything he's in is always funny. You know, like we wind up watching the one with Zach Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr., where they're trying to get Robert Downey Jr. back.
Yeah.
To I forgot what the name of it's called. But there's the part where they're in the currency exchange and Danny McBride comes out and like he's in the wheelchair and starts beating the shit out of Zach Galifianakis.
Yes.
You know, he's just everything he's in. He's always does one or two small parts. Same thing in like Pineapple Express, you know, and he always steals it. That's why I was so glad he had his own show. It got what, three seasons? So
the 3 seasons of Eastbound, yeah.
So yeah, it's just yeah. But
what is that movie? It's like Due Date or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Due Date. I think that's what it is. That's what it is.
Look it up. I think it's
yeah. But I think I've seen so many of these shows from except Peoples. I never seen Peoples. 2013, Craig Robinson.
No, I don't think I've heard of it, but I don't think. Oh, I did. I know it. I do know it. It was like
Kerry
his
Washington.
Show. That was his show.
Is it? Okay.
And it didn't do so well.
Yeah. He was, I don't know. I think he's so underrated. He's underrated.
I mean, Ghosted was good. People's is a movie. I remember that one.
I don't think I've seen that one. But yeah, The Office, he was good. Yeah, Ghosted bombed in the ratings. Like bombed. Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought it was kind of funny.
Funny.
Yeah. It was Adam Scott. I mean, and Craig Robinson. I'm like, oh, those two guys are gonna be awesome together. And it just It just never took off, which sucked.
I don't know. I think it's also bad timing. When you on was on Fox, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was on Fox. That was just bad timing.
Yeah. But oh yeah, so Killing It, I'll check it out, and then we'll see if we want to do a review about it.
After the first episode, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll know. But all right, man. Anything else?
Nope, that's enough.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, we got off to a late start. That was my fault. We got into like almost an hour late. So, but it is what it is. But cool. Tomorrow we're gonna be here doing this again with just one topic, and that's it. Bel-Air episode 10, the finale. And then that's it. And then anybody still watching, I want to make sure you go sub to the Spoiler Kings. We're on our way to 200 subs, and then we'll do another kind of giveaway when we hit 200. Right now we're at 171, so we're getting our way up there. And I just want to say thank you to everyone else that already subbed to us. You know, people that always come in and chat. Derpy, he was in here hanging out with us. Martin, I know Jimmy's usually here with us. So
I saw him on
So yeah, but I know Jimmy's usually in here, so he's got to be busy or something. But cool, man. Yeah,
so
talking football. Well, of course, you're talking about Bruce Arians. Yeah,
Arians. So you know it's gonna be, that's his team.
Yeah. Cool. Bring this up real quick. And then football, here's our full schedule. So we talk football Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. All the links are in the description. Nerd Huddle, Dynasty Pylon is all football. And here on Spoiler Kings, we do movies on Monday and TV shows on Wednesday, and a bunch of little things in between, stuff like that. So make sure you come check us out all live. We're all coming, being live, and we talk to chat. We do all that good stuff. So come hang out.
Talk about the stuff. Join us, and love to have you here. You guys are our other hosts. It's usually you guys.
Yeah, right. But cool, man. All right, I think everyone's leaving our chat. But all right, man. Let's get out of here. All right,
thanks,
later, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.